I get asked this a couple times every single day, so I figured I'd finally throw together a video. Why didn't Littlefinger demand a trial by combat in Game of Thrones Season 7?
Where do I begin, my lords and ladies?
Trials by combat have been at the heart of some key events in Game of Thrones.
Lord Rickard demanded a trial by combat. Aerys declared Fire the champion of House Targaryen.
Is this how justice is done in the Vale? I demand a trial by combat.
You stand accused of murder. I sentence you to trial by combat.
So I will let the gods decide my fate. I demand a trial by combat.
Some of the Westerosi people believe that a trial by combat allows the gods to determine guilt or innocence.
You can't let him go. He's a murderer. He's guilty.
Not in the eyes of God.
You can't.
Enough!
The gods have made their will known.
What gods are those?
Looks like the god likes me more than your butcher's boy.
I decided that all the gods were stories we told the children to make them behave.
A trial of 7 is a special form of a trial by combat which is tied to the Annals and thus the faith of the 7 and knighthood. It's 7 on 7 instead of 1 on 1.
Father, smith, warrior, mother, maiden, crone, stranger, I am hers, and she is mine.
So, followers of the 7 believe that since there are 7 champions fighting on each side, the 7 gods, being thus honored, would more like to take a hand and see that a just result was achieved.
The 7 hells brim with the souls of saintly men.
I think mothers and fathers made up the gods because they wanted their children to sleep through the night.
Trial by combat. Deciding a man's guilt or innocence in the eyes of the gods by having 2 other men hack each other to pieces tells you something about the gods.
What gods are those?
You want me to have a god? Fine. King Stannis is my god.
Stannis is my king, but he's only a man.
Don't tell him that.
In either case, though, the point of a trial by combat is to determine guilt or innocence, to let the gods determine guilt or innocence. Littlefinger was proven guilty by a greenseer.
You murdered our aunt, Lysa Arryn. You pushed her through the moon door and watched her fall. Do you deny it? Earlier, you conspired to murder Jon Arryn. You gave Lysa tears of Lys to poison him. Do you deny it?
You gave me those drops and told me to pour them into Jon's wine, my husband's wine.
You had Aunt Lysa send a letter to our parents
telling her it was the
Lannisters who murdered Jon Arryn when really it was you. The conflict between the Starks and the Lannisters, it was you who started it. Do you deny it? You conspired with Cersei Lannister and Joffrey Baratheon to betray our father Ned Stark. Thanks to your treachery, he was imprisoned and later executed on false charges of treason. Do you deny it?
I deny it. None of you were there to see what happened. None of you knows the truth.
You held a knife to his throat.
You told our mother this knife belonged to Tyrion Lannister. But that was another one of your lies. It was yours.
Thank you, Sansa. I have known you since you were a girl. I've protected you.
Protected me? By selling me to the Boltons?
Give me a chance to defend myself. I deserve that.
And I get it. Some of the people in that room may not believe in Greensight. They may not believe that he's a greenseer, so they may not believe that he has the right to act as judge and jury. But regardless, that's the reason that Littlefinger did not demand a trial by combat. Well, not technically. Littlefinger did not demand a trial by combat because he got extremely flustered. His ladder broke. He panicked.
I'm a bit confused.
My sister asked you a question.
But if Littlefinger had demanded a trial by combat, they would have denied him because he was already proven guilty. There was no need for a trial. I mean, Sansa witnessed some of the crimes, and she was playing judge and jury. In the books, I expect Littlefinger to demand a trial by combat. It'd be pretty great. I can see one of Littlefinger's sycophants complaining, and then Bran calls out that person on something very embarrassing. It seems like something George R. R. Martin would do. It'd be pretty funny. But what about Season 8? Will we see one last trial by combat in Season 8? I offered up that idea a couple months ago because I thought it'd be really cool. And at the time, I thought there was a chance. It's a live dog, but I would not have bet on it. But you remember Seamus's idea from last week about Arya losing an arm in a trial of 7? Yeah, it's Seamus, not Seamus, you dummies. Well, that idea resonated with me, and it ties very well into my Valonqar hypothesis. Now, I do think that we're going to see a trial by combat in season 8.
And I live, which I very much intend to do.
A trial of 7. And I've got a new team for you tomorrow.